Look who's back, y'all. Sucky. Let's go. Hola, mi gente. We are back, bitches.
Oh my God.
We are back. Oh my goodness. I miss y'all so much. Okay, we're up here smiling like the Cheshire cat, like everybody got some booty from everybody over the trip. And although that's not the case, it was just as satisfying, if I do say so myself. Okay, everybody calm down. All right, there were no liquids exchanged except for food and juice and soda. Okay. So, with that said, welcome back, you guys, to On the Block with Jen. I'm Jen, YouTube's bad girl, and still your favorite devil's advocate. You can reach me on all social media platforms, On the Block with Jen, and On the Block with Jen at Gmail for business. Although I got some really strange business the other day, just really strange. I was like, you guys, therapy. I'm not a therapist. Although I will offer you my time for $100 if you want a Zoom call with me. Yeah. Otherwise, no, honey, I'm not your therapist, and good luck with that. With that said, we have so much to catch up on. As you guys know, we just got back. Well, I'm still in Vegas because I live here, but we just got back from a meetup. The block was together under the same roof for a week and a half, and we got content on content on content. We have a dope photo shoot coming out that is going to drop your jaws and some of your drawers.
I'm about to say draws too.
It's gonna drop your jaws and some of your drawers. Try saying that shit fast. With that said, let my beautiful family introduce themselves and let's get in on it because we have a lot to cover and a lot to catch you up on. We're gonna try to be as concise as possible because it is a lot of information. And this may roll into tomorrow. You guys can come up, of course, as usual, with on camera. If you want to cam up with just your avatar, you have to pay the lady. You can super chat us if you want to cam up behind the avatar. Otherwise, you got to show your face. If you don't want to pay to come up, then show your face, okay? Your face gets in for free. Your avatar got to pay. With that said, you can super chat me in the comment. If you want to throw a comment in there, you're going to want to comment today. We got a lot of spicy shit going. Or you can cash at me so I can get all the money and YouTube can leave me the fuck alone with their 30% tax at Cash App On the Block with Jen as well. Lily, let the people know where to find you.
I am Lily of YB Limited. That's the letter Y, the letter B, the word limited. You can find me here on YouTube as well as Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I started my career as a makeup artist and moved over to modeling and acting, and those roles led me here on the block with my team.
Musician and music producer Heron DeMarco. You can find me here as Heron.DeMarco on YouTube land. You can find me as Dangerous DeMarco on IG, and you can find me as Heron DeMarco under Spotify and Apple Music.
I am Saint. I am no saint. I am Saint, no saint. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on my YouTube channel. Thanks for everybody who has subscribed to my YouTube channel. Going live on there more and more content. Also, I'm no saint on TikTok as well.
Love it. This is weird seeing you all on the screen and not being.
I know.
Right?
I
It's
know.
like really weird. Like I woke up like in the middle of the day yesterday. So I thought I heard Jen screaming my name. Or something.
Or I thought you woke up for a good meal.
Right.
Think you gonna wake up to a good meal.
Yes, we were so YouTube press said that was supposed to be private. Oh, the photo shoot is private. I didn't tell y'all what it is. Y'all will see it. It's sexy though. You know we keep it grown and sexy now. You guys can cam up. I'll pin the StreamYard link to the top if you want to come up and ask us about what we're going to speak about tonight or about our Vegas trip. There may be something we forget to tell you. But Haran's talking about we were living together in an Airbnb. It was really a wonderful experience, no cap. And I was always nagging Haran. I was like, Haran, because he would barricade himself in the room. And I needed everybody out where I could see them. I'm that girl. And we learned a lot from each other. I hope you caught some of the content that we delivered. Again, it is crucial that you follow all of us because we're all going to be dropping different things. So don't think I'm going to drop everything. No Saint is going to drop some stuff. Lily has already dropped some stuff. She's better than me. I haven't even been able to sift through all this stuff because it is driving me crazy. It's a lot of content. So we're going to, it's going to be a slow drip, and we're going to give you, you know what I mean, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there, because it is a lot of content. We were together for a week and a half creating for you guys, and hope you enjoy. We did post a skit regarding the riverboat brawl. That's absolutely fucking hilarious. That's on our channels right now. And also, if you don't know, we're doing after shows from now on. This stream will be shorter from now on, and we're going to do after shows. Okay, so if you want more of the block, you'll have to go to Lily's page after my stream, or No Saints page, or Haran's page. That's how we're going to do it, because it's hard to get you guys to follow everybody. So now you're going to be forced to do it, right? And we want to spread the love. And yes, we will all be together on the other person's channel. That's how we got to do it, guys. Okay, so the after shows will be on everybody's channel. We just don't know who, when, or where, and that will start really, really soon. Oh my God, so much to cover. We're not able to cover everything. We're really not. So let's start at the beginning, guys. Let's let the people know we can be concise because there's a lot to cover. And we're back to work. Just brief everybody on what you guys thought about the meetup in Vegas.
Who wants to go first?
Lily,
you
you're
want me to
always
go first?
You're always first.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to speak. I said this to the team while we were there, but the thing is about me, I don't like group trips. They make me very nervous. I get a lot of anxiety because there's only 3 people in this world I really like traveling with outside of my family. So I thought I was going to be like really nervous and have a lot of anxiety, but I didn't lead it up to it. I was just like, I don't know why I'm not nervous to go. And I'm like, this is crazy. I haven't met these people. This is weird. But I wasn't nervous or have anxiety on the way there. Wasn't even like that when I got there. It just felt like a family reunion of people that I hadn't even met. I'm like, why does this feel like a family reunion? This is weird and awesome at the same time. And we went out there with an agenda. We had some things that we wanted to get done. And we overcommitted, which was good, because we were like, even if we, shoot for the moon, we'll be amongst the stars type of situation. So we shot for the moon. We hit a bunch of stars, and we got a lot of content. It was wonderful working with each person because we found out a lot about each other's talents and gifts. We worked together really, really well. We bicker really well, what that means is recover. Like, say what you gotta say, recover, and keep it moving. So it wasn't a bunch of ego and it was just good energy the entire time to the point where we even extended our trip. That was dope. How we all looked at each other at the same time. I was like, we're not ready for this shit to end. So we extended it, and it was awesome. So yeah.
That's a good trip.
Yeah. Yeah. Who's next? I don't want to hog the mic.
I was just missing y'all cooking, really. Like, damn, I gotta go back to my struggle place now.
You don't miss these beautiful places.
I thought I was doing a little something in the kitchen. Then I ate these women's food, and I was like, yeah, I've been really fooling myself. You know what I mean? But it was a lovely experience. And I will say this, I was telling Jen this. I said that it felt really nice to actually, be chivalrous and be a gentleman and look out for women for a week and a half, because I haven't done that in a long time. And being with women who are willing to allow that without being offended.
Oh, that's a whole topic.
I was just about to say, that's a topic because my dad and I and my brother and I had that conversation today, but that's another topic for another day.
So are we saying that Lily and I were fit, feminine, and friendly?
Yeah, very much so. That whole week. That whole week and a half. Very, very much so.
Okay, I'm just saying, because we get called all kinds of things, and I'm like, okay, there's this insistence, this persistence of people saying that femininity shouldn't be conditional, and I say it absolutely is conditional. It absolutely is, right? You're not entitled to everything. No one is. No one's entitled to anything. I can't treat you any old kind of way and expect you to be a perfect gentleman and vice versa. Very much is conditional. So any man out there saying that, oh, it's not supposed to be, yes, the fuck it is, bitch. I digress.
I will say this real quick, because I just don't want to elongate the subject because it's a topic within itself. I will say this: if you're going to go down the road of wanting a doting, silent woman who just listens to everything you say and has absolutely no opinion uh, to provide, then don't look for said woman for guidance when you need to be built and need to have love poured into you, or you need this woman to lead you down a particular path. You know, okay, come with all of your shit, batteries included. You know what I mean? If you gonna be that dude, that's how I see it. You know what I mean? And and there's nothing wrong with. And yes, I did help these ladies out of their car. Yes, I did carry these ladies' bags. Yes, I did all those things and so on and so forth. I got a good ass steak dinner out of that shit, and I got a good ass motherfucking pork chops out that shit too. And I didn't have to argue with a motherfucker every 5 fucking minutes. I tell you that much though. It's a nice quiet house. You know what I mean?
Very peaceful.
Very peaceful house, very peaceful jokes, and it was a lot of love and attention going on over there. So yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, it really was, and I'm glad you used that word peace because that's how I felt and I think that's why we extended the trip because I didn't expect it to feel that good. Pause.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to feel that good. I can't lie. I thought we were, I had tunnel vision, very focused. Oh my God, Lily posted this little this video where she's talking about why do I have to work this hard? She said I was overworking. It's fucking hilarious. You have to go to Lily's page to see it. But I went into it very focused, tunnel vision. I didn't know I was going to enjoy it that much, where it was almost like we had to force ourselves to work because we just like being around each other. And it's very rare. And this is no cap. I've been on group trips, and I've been on group trips with people that I've known since I was a teenager, and it did not mesh or blend as well as on us four getting together. And when I tell you the stars were lined up, everything we needed outside of even us, the universe was like, you need this, here's that. So it was a really beautiful experience. But it goes to show, like, when people are genuine and there's no ulterior motive or any type of cap, that's how things flow. The universe responds, right? So Nosa, I want you to speak on what you thought about the experience. And we got along great, but Haran, what's that?
The evidence. Exhibit A always shows up.
Well, I mean, that was the subconscious.
Oh my God.
The subconscious mind playing along. I guess everyone else is just playing out their subconscious mind.
That sounds about right.
But you see, I'm meditating. I'm trying to be peaceful, and Haran is like,
that
where's
is
my
a
dinner?
great photo.
Yeah, that was that one time.
Hey, I didn't say that we didn't have a couple of debates here and there.
Right.
Okay?
I told you we recovered very quickly.
That was a good photo.
Yes, it was.
What's up, Kari? What say you, No Saint? What you think about the experience?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's covered exactly what you were saying. The fact that I know the way I came into it, and I kind of expected this. I kind of expected us all to get along because maybe it's my naivete in general, and I shouldn't have this in life, but I don't. When I'm speaking to people on here, I feel like they're being honest with me, and that's who they are. So when I go and meet everybody, that's what I'm expecting. And in this case, it's actually the way it was. The toughest part was being in that house fish when Haran showed up, because we were kind of stuck where we couldn't go anywhere, but we broke the ice rather quickly. And then everything else was smooth sailing from there. We got to the new place, and yeah, I mean, we just all got along, and it was the work was fun for me. Wanting to get better at things is always nice. I felt we could have. I wanted to do more, and so now I'm looking forward to the next time. And yeah, so it's kind of interesting how you can. It feels like you're getting to through these machines. You almost feel like you know somebody, and then when you meet them, all the expectations are met there as well. And it was fun. And I learned a little bit about Lily. We have kind of a wavelength when it comes to sense of humor and corniness or whatever. She gets some of my stupid jokes.
These two were peas in a pod. I would be like, I would be like, no, Saint, that's whack. And Lily would be like, I got it. I was like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. No,
that is very strange, though. That is very strange because it's like everybody like clicked with each other the way that they should. Like, you know, Jen and I had this weird sibling shit going on. You know what I mean? Where like she's talking and I'm behaving like I'm listening, but she knows I'm not. She knows I'm not listening, but I have to behave as if I'm listening. So we had that weird thing going on with each other. It was it's like everyone just fell into where they're supposed to. You know?
Yeah. It was wonderful. I miss it already. I'm back to my normal life. which
rats. Not the normal life.
Never. Yeah. I'm already ready to go back to Vegas. Yeah. But it is what it is. But just really quick, I just wanted to break this in. We don't really have to talk about it, but now we have a 4-time indicted former President Trump. The news just came over the wire.
Let's just make this a weekly thing. That
he has been indicted in Georgia. They just came through the grand jury, just indicted him probably like 10 minutes ago. So for election interference.
Well, I say this. We have 52 weeks in a year. Okay, so if we do this every year, we can cover all of the states, and we'll have 2 more weeks left over to party.
Yeah, and definitely YouTube press. It was a blast. Kari said he's going to crash the next one. All right, Kari, we'll see. Here's the thing. What I loved about this trip was usually, you know, and for the record, I invited more people, but what I stuck to was I'm going to invite you the one time. And I'm just going to, and I'm not calling anybody out specifically. This is just in general. I said, I'm going to invite you the one time, and whoever reaches out to me to follow up, that's who I'm rocking with. I'm not going to repeat an invite because I like to work with people that really want to be there. And if I have to keep asking you like, hey, show up, you're just not good for the team and my goals. So I was like, you know, there's a couple of people I invited. So if you're stuck with FOMO, you're stuck with FOMO. Because what happens is a lot of people plan trips. And you know the meme, we've all seen the jokes, is like it starts out with 50 people going. And as the weeks progress, it's like down to 30, then 5, then 4, then 2, and then nobody's going. And, you know, luckily for me, my team does not operate that way. We all wanted to be there. Nobody's arms were being twisted. Even for the work, we were constantly checking in with each other. You know what I mean? So if we can teach you guys anything, it's how to work, you know what I mean, cohesively with a team. And we are all, when I tell you different walks of life and experiences and family backgrounds, this is as different as it gets, this group right here. Although Haran and I have similar backgrounds, we deal with it differently, right? We have the same type of father, but we dealt with it differently. We cope differently. But we were able to get along. I mean, this is as eclectic as it gets, and you guys know that. And I hope that you rock with us moving forward. And we got content on content coming. Salute to No Saint, who I think out of all 4 of us took the biggest risk, because I won't go nowhere with 3 fucking whites. Okay? I ain't fucking going to motherfucking place with 3 white people to nobody's air fucking B&B. I don't care how nice you are to me online. Not happening. I want all my organs in my body. Okay? Not happening. So salute to No Saint. For hang out with the colors, because anything could have happened, okay?
Right.
So with that said, guys, I do want to briefly touch on.
Hold on, I gotta say something.
Thunder Scorpion said, I was in Vegas, y'all should have hit me up. I paid for everything. You should have hit us up. We kept telling people we were in Vegas. That's the thing.
Right.
I don't hit nobody up. Y'all saw where we were. Y'all should have hit us up. Lily, you were
Right.
saying before I pivot.
Oh no, the funny thing is when No Saints white friends came over and they walked in and they just looked at the scene. They're like,
What's
okay,
happening?
what's
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 going
what's
on?
happening here? There's a blow up doll in the corner. There
There
is a
was a blow up doll in the corner.
bald tranny on the couch, spicy Latina, scary black man. Yeah. No Saint blink twice if you need.
No Saint, are you
But,
okay? Yes, No Saint had his little white friends over who were absolutely darling, by the way. I mean, the vibe of this whole crew. I had my friend
Everybody.
there, my friend All City Smitty on Instagram. All City Smitty
shout out.
was our shooter and our editor. Shout out to Rob Smith. He was there with us. He crashed with us. He shot a lot of our stuff. His cinematography was absolutely fucking amazing. A huge, huge help. And he came on some love, okay? That
Yeah.
man paid for his flight on his own. I called him and said, yo, I need you. He flew out himself.
See, that's family
So
right there. That's
yeah, that's
real
family.
Mhm.
right.
That's love. That's love. And he came kicking and screaming, complaining all the way. But you know, it's a little bit to put up with for all the work that he volunteered to
Yeah.
do for us. You know what I mean? So shout out to All City Smitty on Instagram, Mr. Rob Smith. And he would have stayed longer, but he's going to Burning Man. So he had to do what he had to do. But we appreciate him so much. And maybe one day we'll have him up here to talk about his film works and things like that. But I mean, you know, I've known this man over 20 some odd years. So yeah, the ruler's back. We're gonna get into that. If you guys didn't see, I did Access Vegas, bitch, with Rolo Tomasi and Michael Sartain. Adam Sosnick was there, and some corny British dude who had on like this dusty ass Scarface, Miami Vice, Al Pacino, Tony Montana costume on.
Shit going on. John Travolta.
It gave me very much Miami Vice circa 1988.
Right. So the ruler's back says, I seen you did something with Access Vegas and the Valuetainment guy. Kudos for standing your ground in front of men. Salute to you, sir, and thank you for noticing. Yeah, so let's talk about that a little bit. If you did not see it, you know your girl's going to represent, not sometimes, but every time I'm going to represent, not just for women, but just for the people that are supposed to sit quiet and be nice in front of certain people. I don't do nice unless I know you. And even then, you got to be more careful, like Lily says. So if you didn't catch it, here's what my appearance looked like over there on Access Vegas with Rolo Tomasi, Michael Sartain, Adam Sosnick from Valuetainment, and that dusty British guy. Yeah, this is how it went. This is how it went.
Did you see the boxing gloves I put in one of my pictures?
I sure did. So that is me, okay, stressing to Adam Sosnick. So that is me stressing to Adam Sosnick from Valuetainment. Yeah, you ain't in Kansas anymore, baby. Okay.
Try that in a small town.
Right. Try that. He tried me in a small town. So as you can see, there were way too many people at this podcast, but Michael Sartain said he has to overbook because a lot of the women flake. So we were all stuffed in there. There was even a damn fucking dog in there. It was chaos. It was fucking chaos. Everybody was like, hey, the dog. I thought it was dumb. It was a big dog. It's not like it was a cute little a poodle or something. It was a whole fucking dog in a stroller. It was pandemonium and chaos. But we got through it. The conversation got a little wild, as you can see. I love this picture. I didn't know Adam prior to this. I didn't know that British dude prior to this. I don't know them women. I only knew, of course, Rolo Tomasi and Michael Sartain. I didn't know them other cats. But Lily did say she recognized the Adam dude, Adam Sosnick from Valuetainment. And we got into it. It got really, really crazy at one point. They were yelling Jerry. But, you know, I'm always going to represent. It was a bit of a racial component to it. I thought, right, racist things were being thrown back and forth. But you know, those are things that I don't catch because you guys know I'm not sensitive and I can dish and take. But for some reason, when I dish or reciprocate, everybody says I go too far. Like I never understood that. I have a comedian friend and I asked him today, if someone said this to you and you said this back, would it be too far? And he was like, yeah, maybe kind of. And I was like, I don't get it. When two people are roasting each other, the gloves are off in my opinion. But for some reason, when I reciprocate the energy or the language, I'm doing too much. So I don't get it. I honestly, truly do not get it. When you come for me in a certain type of way and I reciprocate, it's like something Lily said, people want to put rules on how you reciprocate or respond. And that's an impossibility to me. If you're walking down the street and slap somebody in the face and they pull out a bazooka and take your head off, I'm like, well, shit happens. But then someone else will show up and say, that was too much. You can't tell people how to respond. Like I would be like, what did he do? And then the person would be like, well, he slapped the person in the face. Well, this is what happens. Sometimes you get a bazooka, sometimes you get a police report, and sometimes you get a, hey, why'd you do that? But you can't, I always say over and over to you people, you have a plan. You have a great plan. We've seen it happen in road rage. We've seen it happen in robberies. We've seen it happen with people cursing each other out. You always have a plan. Everybody got these big muscles and everybody's tough. And it's like, when I get there, and what do we see? Road rage, guy comes up to the car, bitch, and then the guy pulls out a blaster and shoots him across the street, right? And then there's guts everywhere. And people are like, he shouldn't have shot him. It was just road rage. You can't do that. You have a plan. You never know what the other person's plan is. So I go back to some things were said, I reciprocated, and then everybody wanted me to quiet down. And I was like, oh, I thought we were fighting. Whatever. But I'll land my plane there. My team was waiting for me at Access Vegas. They were in the green room watching it on the screen. What did you guys think? Because I was just doing me.
It was absolutely boring until you actually shook the table. I actually fell asleep. You know what I mean? No saying
they were asleep.
I was fighting sleep. I was like, this shit
You guys are asleep.
I wasn't fighting it.
No, he was.
I just didn't want to hear a bunch of white men masturbating.
I wasn't fighting it at all.
You know what I mean? For like 3 fucking hours. And I'm just like, this shit is boring as fuck. And then when Jen actually said something that was like, okay, this looks like this is going to piss off a couple of people, then it got interesting. Then you can tell that the energy in the room and even in the green room changed. Look, listen, in terms of what people say, this is how I look at it in life. I treat life like the yard, or if you in jail. You know, if motherfucker come over there and be like, yo, what kind of shoes you wear? You take that motherfucker's head off. Because guess what? Everybody's watching your fucking reaction. If they seeing that you got a soft response, they're gonna paint you as a victim. So you make a nice, good example out of that son of a bitch, because the next person behind that person understands there's gonna be some real trouble behind that if you try to follow suit. But anyway, the only line I don't cross is kids, unless you talk about mine. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't talk about kids and family. Everything else is whatever. But anyway, you know, I knew he was gonna go racial. I knew it was going to happen because I know.
Yeah, you said that, and I was. See, I'm not there because I'm like Lily. I'm not sensitive to stereotypes. This is because if you come at me with a stereotype, I'm gonna throw a stereotype at you. But then again, you're gonna say I went too far, right?
Right. Because most people can't dish what they take out, what they put out. They can't. They can't take what they dish.
Interesting.
They can't.
Interesting.
It's only fair. See, it's only fair when white boys are winning. That's the problem. It's only fair when white boys are winning. When you tell them to shut the fuck up, or you do whatever or whatever have you, then they go racial. Then you're this blah blah blah. You're that. You're the unruly minority and so on. But when you're being a fucking dick, when you're being disrespectful, when you're going out of your way to dehumanize people, then it's like, yeah, you're just setting the tone and being a man and enforcing your frame. Get the fuck out of here. All 5 foot of her came into that door and told
5'3".
Excuse me. 5'3" of her actually.
Don't take away any of her into.
Thank you.
She's real sensitive about that.
Don't take away any of my inches either.
Yeah, he's real sensitive about that.
Pause.
You know what I'm saying?
It was cold in there that day.
It was.
Shit, it was cold in there every day. Now it's not a joke to you, no saying. I'm just saying it was like 6 and then we kept it like 60. But anyway, with all that being said, she came in there and told these motherfuckers shut and suck her fucking dick, and I was all for it. I was like, there you go. It is what it is, man. Sometimes you got to tell these dudes, man, get fuck you. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm going to say one more thing. The Barbie movie, they're harping on this shit. And anyway, the reason why they're harping on it is because the white man is not the center of the story. Anytime the white man isn't the hero, he isn't the savior, he isn't the center of the story, he has a problem. And that's one of the reasons why, not to fall off topic, that I have an issue with DeSantis's ideas in regards of the retelling of slavery. He wants to reimagine it in a manner in which white people saved us from ourselves. And it's always constantly goes back to that idea where they pulled us from obscurity and they reinvented us and they created us. Get the fuck out of here with that, man. Anyway, I'm on that.
Yeah, it was interesting to piggyback off what you're saying, just so you guys know, we were literally in there fighting over the Barbie movie. And I'm very black and white. So, I made my statements where basically saying this is silly, right? We have grown men, white, blue, green, blue, or orange, but I'm noticing, we talking about Ben Shapiro, and a lot of white men are hella mad at Barbie. And I'm just sitting there, right? And I'm like, do you guys know this is silly? Right? That's where I'm coming from, right? And Access Vegas is very interesting. I believe it's like Fresh and Fit. I don't watch Fresh and Fit, but I can imagine what's curious about both shows, and I guess they want Exhibit A, but I would guess, and you guys can school me on Fresh and Fit because I don't watch it, but I know that Access Vegas is a version of Fresh and Fit, right, with different hosts. I noticed that they book women who are in the life, either prostitutes, porn actors, and these are not rumors. This is what they say their profession is when they introduce themselves. They're prostitutes, they're porn actors, they're bottle girls. They literally say, I fuck men for money, just rich men. And then every now and then one of them would throw in, yeah, I'm a hooker, but I have a degree, right? That's really the caliber of women are on those shows. And salute to them. Get it how you live. It's not my vagina. Do what you want with your vagina. It is your life. Salute to you. Sell it. I don't know, whatever you want to do, right? So I noticed that those are the same women that they berate, that they say nobody wants and what have you. So I find it very interesting that those are the women they constantly book. They're not booking, women in suits, well-dressed that are business women or whatever. Although one would say an OnlyFans girl, that's a business, a hooker is a business, and a porn actress is a business, whatever. I'm just saying that it's very easy to have those conversations with a bunch of sex workers in the room. And they're also... I notice when I'm sitting there, and these are just my observations, the women are very nervous acting, right? Where it's like they giggle a lot when they're insulted. They go along to get along. And I'm like how do you say, around the antithesis? I'm just the opposite of that, where I sit there and I observe. I've always been an observant person. And I'm like, why isn't anybody saying this conversation is absolutely asinine? That grown white men are panicking over a fucking movie about toys, which is written as satire. And I even asked them, I questioned them, and you can watch Access Vegas for yourself. I questioned them, like, are you serious? Like, what's the panic? What's supposed to happen if a little boy watches Barbie? Like, what, is all hell going to break loose? But it goes to show, as much as people deny the patriarchy, right? And when we say patriarchy, we're talking about white men. Okay, we're not talking about Latin men running shit. We're not talking about Asian men running shit. We're not talking about black men running shit. We're talking about white motherfuckers in charge and them panicking to the point where even when they see a fucking toy movie, it's a toy movie to me, which is satire, right? It's like, oh no. What's up, Spro? Nah, you ain't got the cam up. You good?
Hey guys, I cannot stay long, but I heard you talking about Barbie.
I did. I was talking about Barbie and
I haven't seen it yet. I
haven't seen it either.
I heard about the movie. I heard about the movie when Sony still had the rights, like before they even had a script and they were like working on it when Amy Schumer was attached. Thank God she didn't. That didn't go through. Right. And then I was like, yeah, this is a stupid idea. It's like it's just a dumb idea. And then I saw the first teaser where I think that's how the movie opens with the 2001 parody, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be dope. And I have a buddy who does film reviews, and he pretty much he didn't give me like beat for beat, but he gave me the entire story, the plot breakdown. And
I watched Ben Shapiro's review, and Ben Shapiro, he posted a lot of clips.
I didn't watch any review from anybody actually on it. I heard that Ben Shapiro was, of course, pissed off about it. And when my buddy told me the storyline, if I'm honest, typically, like, it's the kind of thing that typically, like, for me, especially being so passionate about movies and hating the kind of weird political space of Hollywood, I didn't mind. I was like, you know, if I had a gun to my head and I had to make a movie for Barbie, the fact that they went meta is very interesting. And I don't really know where else I could take it. And then when he explained just the story to me, even with the whole, just so, like I said, I haven't seen it, guys, but I know the story. So, like, spoilers. So if you haven't seen it, sorry.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah,
I'm not planning on seeing it.
Oh no, I think
I heard it turns you gay, so I don't want to see it.
It looked. It looks dope. It looks dope. But just from the story, for anyone that has already seen it, or if you know the story, if you don't care, to be quite honest, I think the message could be taken for anybody, even though the focus is on women. If you really look at it broadly, it is. And then I've seen a few people.
Testings, bro. You went quiet. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, son.
Gone rogue.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Spro. This is funny. Shot said I did. Yeah, we can hear you now. Shot said I did watch Barbie, and I am now gay. Oh, I love that for you.
I told you the side effect, but that's a good side effect, though. It's a wonderful side effect.
I love that for you.
The way it, like, it's. I would get this. I think, honestly, the movie sounds fine from the story. I think it came out at a time when, honestly, we do have a lot of stuff kind of like that, and people are over it, and it's kind of done disingenuously. Just from hearing it and knowing the filmmaker, and, like, her work is freaking brilliant. If you saw anyone who saw her version of Pretty Women, like, please go watch it. Or no, Little Women. It's actually really smart. I think it just came out at a bad time. And to be quite honest, the Manosphere guys, any and everything that they can latch on to. I was actually thinking about this not too long ago. If it's ever a celebrity and it's a woman or it's something, like they are like moths to the flame. Now, I can't stay long. So, Jen, moving on. Access Vegas, is that Rollo show?
Rollo and Michael Sartain.
I saw you. I think I saw the one where you were on there. It was like 2-3 weeks ago. And I was like, ew, Jen, why are you with Rollo? I was
invited. For the record, I was invited. So I was like,
this is the second time. He's talking about the first time.
Of course you were invited.
Oh, do tell, bro. What you know? This is the one you're talking about. This episode?
Yeah.
No, he's talking about the first one.
I think I'm talking about the first one.
Okay, that was the second one.
So, like, when you had messaged me, I didn't see, like, when you were like, oh, I got into it with Bull. I had no context. I was like, what? What's the tea?
Okay. I was on there last Thursday, and the debate was Barbie. They were hella up in arms about Barbie, and I was kind of like, it's kind of dumb that you guys are emotional and panicking about Barbie. I think, and then I'll pass it to you because I'm curious what you have to say, but I just think that feminism is trending. So Hollywood jumps on it. Just like LGBTQ is trending or overweight women is trending. So Victoria's Secret to put an overweight woman on the cover. We saw it with Mad Max Fury Road. We saw it with The Woman King. It's just Hollywood is following trends.
Put Fury Road in. So here's the thing. And that actually, I'm glad you said Fury Road. So look, guys.
I mean, in terms of Hollywood is putting women as leads.
So here's the thing. I think, and this is from being like a cinephile and like spending time in like the movie spaces. Like I said, I have a buddy that reviews movies. That's like what he does. It is sickening. The political messages. I don't care what end, even if it's for good, it is sickening and it is drawing. However, guys, if something's good, it's good. I have not seen Barbie, but that shit looks dope, and I cannot think of any other creative possible way for a concept based on a freaking toy. That's a toy that it's like the Lego movie. When I heard the Lego movie was coming out, I was like, that's a dumb idea. And then it was brilliant. And I was like, oh, they took a toy where the whole point is imagination, that's also what Barbie is, believe it or not, guys. Barbie's all about imagination, and it sounds like that's where it went. Fury Road, yeah, it was, quote, a feminist story, but like Fury Road, come on, gang, like Furiosa. She has her own movie coming out actually soon. And it's going to be amazing. One of the greatest feminist films ever made, people actually thought was against women. A little movie called The Stepford Wives, for anyone who's ever seen that. Old horror movie from the 70s. Brilliant freaking movie. Scary as hell. People thought it was against women because, if I'm honest, it doesn't have a very happy ending. But it's a very powerful, like, guys, every movie, every story has a message and a theme. Yes, it is sick.
That's what AJ just said. Movies have always had political messages.
I like what Shot said. Shot said they always have them, but you don't notice until you're triggered.
Well, no, it's not even that. You notice it. I think you notice it when, honestly, the message is prioritized over the story. So we've had plenty of things where there is a political message, but whoever made it, they prioritize story and craft over their message. Because no matter what, if you're being genuine and you're just trying to make something that's dope, your political views or like how you feel is going to come across it in it, even if you're not trying. The problem is that a lot of studios and movies nowadays, they are forcing it. Barbie, I'm sorry, even though I haven't seen it, it does not sound like it was forced. It sounds like that was the move. And again, the Red Pill and Manosphere guys are going to hop on it. Again, back to Rolo. Rolo's a pussy. Did you see Brittany Venti's video?
Yes.
I did.
Either of them. First off, she is the unabashed troll queen of YouTube. Venti 2024. I've seen her like here and there since, like, I don't know, she's been on YouTube a while. But like I never like watched her stuff. I saw her Pearl thing and I was like, this is hilarious. And then I saw the first Rolo one and I was like, got him. But then that second one, and you know what I did as soon as I got to that part in the video where she was like, it was me, motherfucker. Ah. I paused the video and I went to Rolo's channel to see if the stream was still up. It was gone. It was gone. I've gotten into back and forth with Rolo on Twitter. I'm not going to lie. His first book is actually brilliant. I actually would recommend that a lot of young men read it. There's a lot of practical, useful information in there. I'm not with the whole spinning plates thing and stuff like that. But his first book is actually pretty dope. And there is a lot of useful stuff in there. He is a hack. And everything Brittany said is completely true. And I had those thoughts after I got out of the red pill about him anyway. Because again, it was hard as far as the Rolo thing, because he's the godfather of the manosphere. And again, his book is good. His first one, the other ones are just blah, blah, blah copies and repeats of the other one. Then they sound more bitter. The first book is brilliant. The first book is dope. There's some really interesting essays in there. He is a good writer, but he is a bitch. I don't even know how else to say it. I do not say that kind of stuff on platforms or whatever like that. I'm glad that Brittany did what she did. This stuff is being demolished. I don't even need to, Jen. I don't need context. You got into a fight over Barbie. They're weak. Now, something tells me, and I say this with love, that you probably did not argue well, and you probably got a little heated and in your feelings, and you probably proved some of their nonsensical points. However, Rolo's a bitch.
Okay, so with that said, and I respect your opinion, by the way. We're all allowed our opinion here. I wasn't actually emotional. I was very much, even though, I was shutting him down and what have you. Not Rolo, but because Rolo and Michael kind of like sat back, and then the Adam character, I got into it with him. I didn't know him prior to, but I was basically trolling him because I was like, okay, you want to act like this, then this is what we're gonna do. I believe he was well oiled. He was drinking. So I don't think he was sober. So I was like, oh, okay, I see the chink in the armor. I'm going to go after that, right? But, after a while, I basically started trolling because I'm like, I don't believe I'm here debating. And, I know a lot of bullshit gets debated on these platforms, but I was like, I can't believe I'm here debating a bunch of adult males about a fucking toy movie. This is not the end of the world. And that's how they were reacting to the movie. I was like, I didn't see it. I even mentioned, how my father was and how my father would never get in the affairs of women. I think Barbie you're getting into the affairs of women. It's a movie for women. It's very feminist based, and they were just really pissed off.
I actually don't think so. Like, again, I haven't seen it, but just from hearing the plot, I think, and I've seen a few like headlines kind of hinting at this, but they were like, yo, Barbie very well may be actually anti-woke. Like, it's reversing. It's kind of a critique almost on how because just from, again, spoilers, guys, just from hearing how the plot works, like the Kens or whatever, they're pretty much like, fuck them. Like, they're just mindless just bots, and their whole existence revolves around them. And then there's the whole, I did hear Ryan Gosling's song on iTunes. It's brilliant. It's hilarious. It's fantastic. And just from hearing the song, again, just knowing the plot, hearing that song, I'm like, so there's something here too. Even if the movie ends in a certain way, and like the Kens are kind of like, it's again the meme, Ken enough, guys, you're Ken enough or whatever.
Right.
I think the movie it's for men and women. It's like, yo, you don't have to be in this boxing mode. You don't have to live for anyone else. You're not confined by what people say you're supposed to do. And it's like, guys, why are you? I'm not gonna lie. It sounds like one of the most creative, especially for a big franchise. It sounds like one of the most creative things that have come out in a long time, and you're fighting over it. It's the same thing with that movie, Sound of Freedom. It's like about child trafficking. Everyone who tells me they saw it is like, oh, dude, so powerful. You should go see it, man. We got to help these kids. But then you go online and people are like, QAnon and then
What
people
movie?
on the other side are like, oh, this is it's both sides. The right wing, like people like Ben Shapiro, they're like, oh, you need to go see Sound of Freedom because this is how we'll fight the woke. And then
so they were upset because they say it's pushing the gay agenda, it's pushing women. I mean, men are useless. It's pushing women run the world. So that's what the debate was, and I was just coming from a point of view.
That's kind of the point, guys. It's about girl empowerment. And again, I don't think anyone that has a daughter that has common sense, I'm not going to tell I'm going to keep it a buck. I'm not going to tell her like, oh, you a queen, rule, do whatever you want. And I'm also not going to tell her that like men are like, oh, they're in charge and you have to always, submit. We are different, and we excel better in different areas, and we complement each other. Each other.
You sound like you're married, bro.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. It's like we're again, we both, men and women, they're the same. You have inherent value because you're a human being. Human life is valuable. Because of those differences that we have. Like even when you look back at like some of the stuff the Red Pill guys say, if you look at like traditional values, you got to think. No one ever talks about like where did that stuff come from. We think it just came from just like men were being dicks. You think about it like, okay, well, women have like in the back of their head, they have the burden of, child rearing, like that's something that they have. So if you are out of commission for about a year at a time, because, human pregnancies are, a little while, you're probably not going to be able to work and stuff. So that's probably why guys stepped up and did most of the work. Also, guys are usually physically bigger. So, and then when you're physically bigger and then you're also, you carry children, it's like, yo, you're valuable. I think sometimes some of the like old traditional like ways of going about things, whether it be like arranged marriages or things like that, I think they're looked at like it's a way to like oppress and keep people down. And I'm like, yo, I think it started from a place of like, honestly, value. I always looked at like, as you know, I'm a theist. And if you look at in scripture, as far as women are concerned, there was when God made everything, like it's according to scripture. I know people here don't believe. But according to scripture, it says God made everything, right? And everything was good. Good. He made man. It was good, blah, blah, blah. There was one time when God said something wasn't good. And he was like, man should not be alone. And then he made woman. And I always looked at it like women are the first gift God ever gave man. It's like it's when we became whole. It was the only time, again, it's the only time in all of the creation account that he said that something wasn't good. And it's like, yeah, they're different from us, guys. And I'm not gonna lie, in the West, because again, I came from the Red Pill, and they are on to a lot of stuff. They're not talking about.
So speaking of the Red Pill, because again, I'm not familiar with a lot of these guys. Like people were like, oh, Adam Sosnick he's super popular. I don't know these fucking cats. I really don't stray off this channel too much. And when I do, I'm watching dolphins, orcas, and people surfing. Right. I don't watch a lot of these channels. I think a lot of them are hot garbage. They spew the same thing. They're parroting the same thing. Like you seen one channel, you seen them all. They're doing the body count, hit the wall, that it's redundant. I get bored really quickly. And not only that, I can still watch that, say, like if you're Andrew Tate or Kevin Samuels, because at least these guys are personalities. They're interesting to watch, right? The rest of them is just, there's a sea and it's just saturated, right? Michael Sartain has never disrespected me. Rollo Tomassi has never disrespected me to my face. So I accept it. the invite to go on this show. Now, what they say behind my back is a different thing, but it's the same shit like what I say behind their back. It's neither here nor there, right?
Well, there's nothing wrong with getting invited to a show. Like, I mean,
absolutely. Absolutely. So, what do you think? You said earlier that, whether it's the red pill, the manosphere, something like Barbie, they latch on to it. But what do you think that this is just content, or do you think that it's silly?
I think that it's a combination. It's content. So for some of them, they saw someone else who genuinely felt a way about it do it, and they were like, "Oh, that's a good point. I agree," because again, it's an echo chamber. And then honestly, a piece of me, and I think it's because I came from the manosphere. Sometimes I really do look at the cat sympathetically. I'm like, "Oh, you poor retarded man." Like I feel bad because I know what it is. Because like again, a lot of the red pill guys, it's coming from a place of hurt. It has reached a critical mass. We're seeing the same thing politically. There was a point in time not too long ago where like I always saw myself as being a true liberal. And then as more and more time went by, especially after 2020, everyone started calling me a right-wing conservative. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, I'm just like, I think this about this and I think this about that. You don't think that things are getting a little like weird? Like, why are you saying this about me? Just because like I think differently. And I'm not saying that I'm against you, but like the thing that you're calling for, I disagree with. And like, I think it's getting a little nuts. And I was like, so basically it was just like, oh, like anyone on the right wing, anyone who's saying they're a conservative, because it was lining up with it. I'm starting to notice now, and I think this happens with any group, and I'm not saying that men are all victims. I'm not saying the right wing are all victims, but after a while, you can only expect someone to be rational after being kind of like stifled or silenced after a while. So I think like for a lot of men, it's not that men were silenced or anything like that, but as far as like dating and interaction with women, a lot of the men feel at a disadvantage, and things in our society are, I think, they do cater to women. However, that makes sense because women spend most money. Which I don't think anyone realizes that. It's again, some of it is like feminism and stuff, and like we were like in the dark ages with a lot of stuff, and like some of that stuff progressed. And then also we live in a progressive society, so we're doing a lot of force correcting in places where we don't really need it. But guys, women spend most of the money, even in like married households. My wife picks everything that we're gonna buy. If it reaches over a certain amount, she runs it by me. But like other than that, like I'm not going to the store. Like I don't care, and most guys don't. And then not only that, but like women are strong in the workforce now. A lot of more women are literally independent. I know it sounds cringe, manosphere, but they're independent. They're making bread, and they spend the most bread. Women take more vacations than men. Women buy more clothes than men. So yeah, society is going to be catered to women.
So before hold on, bro, because woo, the winds are long with you, baby, but we appreciate you. Before you go, I did want to ask you.
You had to go like 20 minutes.
Right. It's like
no, I do have to get off. So one more question.
One more question. You were an avid, a red pill aficionado. You were in there. You were neck deep in, all the talking points and everything that. But you kind of, what would you say? You left. You separated. The light bulb went on over your head. What made you shift? Because men that are in the red pill are neck deep and they like it. They revel in. They talk about it. They repeat these. They even, coin these men godfathers, not just Rolo, but Kevin Samuels. Like they look up to these men, even when they're older than the guy talking, they still big bro him. What made you separate? What was the light bulb over your head?
I wouldn't even say that I necessarily separated. I still participate in Manosphere panel. Again, which is something, again, red pill philosophy and I think manosphere in its entirety are two different things. Manosphere is niggas be talking. Yeah, we talk about women. Some of the cats are discussing. The other day I was on a hardcore Manosphere panel, and the host of the panel and everyone else was getting on this one bull because we were talking about divorce. And the bull's whole philosophy seemed to be that if a man, basically men can divorce their wives for whatever reason, and that's okay. But the problem with divorce is that women are doing it. And we were like, dude, it's always a problem. Divorce is a bad thing because of based off the definition of marriage. And then everyone, I'm talking, these were niggas that were saying, they were saying some nasty stuff. I feel like even if they were to say it in front of like women in other places, they'd be like these sexist manosphere guys. But it's like, no, we were all sitting there telling bull like, bro, we like women over here. You sound bitter. You need to get up out of your feelings. Like they're just bitches. Like you're draw like, and that's how men talk to each other. So like, it's not that I separated. What I did was I got out of that weird philosophy, like labeling, like, yo, I'm RP, bro. Like, oh, did you know that Rolo said, like, hey, dude, like I'm not like there was a point when like every single post that some like retarded hood rat would make, I was in there like, got you. Like, no, it's no more of that. Again, the red pill, like they say a lot of stuff that is true. That's why it's caught the mainstream. That's why guys make money off the content. That's why people are so shocked by it. That's why people that disagree are so their hair is blown back by it, because a piece of them knows that it's true. That's the whole point. The matrix, that's the whole comparison. It's an uncomfortable truth. There's certain things that are true about how we interact with each other that are uncomfortable, and they maybe don't make one party or the other look best in the entire way. So like I think that, but like what I did was I if I had to give it a say separated, I'm not. Again, the information is what's important. Their prescriptions and their conclusions, that's the toxic shit. And what it does is it gives a lot of these guys, whether they are genuinely, because the thing with the manosphere now is it went from guys that were genuinely having problems with women and they're maybe just not confident and just like in a rut, to being the Pookies, the Ray Rays, and all the like the fuck niggas crept into it, and they're using the talking points that are true to justify their degeneracy. And then the women that are critical of it see that, and to keep it a bean, a true red pill talking point, most women that complain about like, oh, there are no good men, are just choosing shitty men. Again, that is their right, and they have that free will, but that is true. I've seen it all the time. Same thing with men. Men will complain like, oh, this woman is that. You're picking them. You're picking them. So either stop complaining or pick different. You have the choice. Okay. And that's where we're seeing the problem. I do have to go. Manosphere is dope. Red pill is stupid. Rolo, Brittany, got you. I don't care. I do not do this internet like, oh, calling people out stuff. You are a hack. You wish you were fresh and fit, which is sad because those guys are dorks. You obviously are biting off of them. You name dropping old, washed up, terrible, false gospel spreading hypocrite.
Damn, tell them why you mad, son.
One day you're going to tell us how you really feel, bro. No.
And you are poisoning the minds of young men, and I cannot wait until the day of reckoning, because it is happening now. You guys, all you niggas are in judgment right now. The red pill, it is coming down. Young bulls are going to look back at your stuff. They're going to eat the meat, spit out the bones, and be like, can you believe this old retard? They are laughing at you. Young bulls are laughing at you. They're getting money. They're pulling girls. They're having families. And they're laughing at you because y'all look sad, you freaking dorks. Get your bag up and be confident. Seriously, that's the solve. That's the solution, kids. I'm leaving the studio. Good night, kids.
Good night.
All right. Well, I think we should really have a show where people can say what they want to say. I think the censorship that we do here, Jen, is just ridiculous.
Listen, we did ask his opinion.
I've always said that right now, currently, I'm not talking about what it was the original intention. I'm talking about the manosphere or the red pill or whatever it is. What it is now, what it stands it is now, is the worst thing to happen to young men. Ooh. It is by far the worst fucking thing I've ever seen happen to young men. Because far too often, here's the real problem. In order to really fix a problem, we have to discuss we have to understand what the problem is. The problem is right now is that a lot of young men feel less than. Mm-hmm. These guys and these gurus and these guys with the answers, they're taking advantage of that. And they're giving them information that leads to unsustainable lifestyle. Okay? You're not going to get to the life that you want by constantly using women as a punching bag. That's not how it works. Mm-hmm. You are not going to be the man that you think you are by constantly demeaning and belittling those around you. That's what cowards do. Real men have no problem walking into a room with real men still standing on their square and everyone actually respecting each other. Me personally, I have no confidence issues. All of these people have met me in person the same way I am on here talking this shit. It's the same way I am in person. You know what I mean? Very unbothered, very, stoic and so on and so forth. Because that comes from a belief in self Doesn't mean that I am a perfect person. Doesn't mean that I don't have things I still need to work on. It just means that I'm at a space in my life where I understand where I'm going, how to get there. And I don't need to demean women. I don't need to destroy women and subjugate women in order to feel like a man.
So with that said, and I want to pass the mic to No Saint, because I don't think you've said what you thought about the Access Vegas thing. But I do want to, I just really quickly, I want to address what Haran said about you don't need to destroy women. If you notice with a lot of the red pill and manosphere, they use the word destroy and women a lot. It's like, it's literally now it's synonymous. And I think that language is dangerous. However, you know, they cater to men that hate women and boys that hate women. And people say, no, I don't hate women just because I say this. If you notice, read the captions of all these guys. They use the word destroy over and over and over again. And I think that is conditioning men to continue to hate women. It's conditioning boys to continue to hate women and want to see them destroyed. And people they're cattle. Okay, we saw what happened in January 6th with a couple of suggestions, right? So this vitriol that they keep perpetuating and keep feeding these guys is great, right? For them while they sit in their ivory towers behind their webcams and collect their money and their super chats. But you're sending boys and men out there with that mindset, and they're constantly using that word destroy. You don't believe me? Look at the fucking shorts that the red pill and the manosphere. It's always woman gets destroyed. These women get destroyed. And then you watch the clip and it's barely a debate back and forth, but these same people are sure to use that word over and over and over again. Why do they use that word? Because they want men and boys to click on and see a woman get destroyed because they're feeling a way about women. Either they're constantly being rejected or their ex-girlfriend did them dirty or they hate their mama. So when they see the word destroyed, it's like moths to a flame because it feels good. And you notice in the comments, specifically with Access Vegas, Rolo and Michael, you see in the comments, because I think that Rolo and Michael are not as vitriolic as Fresh and Fit. Again, I don't watch Fresh and Fit, but I've seen some clips. I've seen the type of women that are there and how they treat those women. So I've seen in the comments of Access Vegas where men are literally calling for, like it's a fucking coliseum, tell that woman this, destroy her. You're letting her get away with, and these motherfuckers are sitting in the chat and talking like they're watching a boxing match or talking like they're watching a gladiator against a fucking lion. Tell her to destroy her, destroy her. And these are men versus women. Okay. So don't take my word for it. Take a scroll. You will see that word destroyed often. And these guys like using it because it gets them clicks and views. But what is the aftermath of that? January 6th. Hey, and then they can step back and say, hey, all I did was use the word destroy about 100 times. I didn't tell any man to destroy a woman. I just used it. And they get to sit on their fucking ivory towers on their podcast and fucking, condos somewhere in some building untouched. So you got to be very careful. I'm glad that Spro was here and he admitted, you know what, this wasn't the move. Spro is now happily married, right? To a woman. To a woman. So No Saint, passing the mic to you. What did you think about the whole Access Vegas thing from your point of view while you were awake? Because you fell asleep, sir.
Yeah, well, let me start off by saying that I thought that's a couple of interesting points just from the question you asked. One is, I find the whole destroyed word, and call me crazy, has a little bit of also a sexual undertone to it. Like making a woman a sexual object, I'm going to destroy that, like being violent. It's got, to me, when I hear that, I hear sexual violence as well. Now I might be distorted, I don't know, because anytime
I can hear the connection. I know where you're going with it.
Yeah, so I mean,
in a different context, but I don't know about this.
Like hate fuck in a sense.
Yes. Like
I have to mull over that.
It'd be the same. Like, when you're. I don't want to get too far off into the weeds on this, but that's what I hear, because like you said, you're dehumanizing, or you're making this person less than. I want to see this person get destroyed. You don't even know this person. So you're taking whatever experiences you had in life, whatever angers you've had in life, and you're putting on other people, and let's see them get destroyed, and rooting for a team, rooting for just for the sake. But I digress from that. Also, I want to say what Haran said I thought was interesting about people being upset about the Barbie movie because it's like the white guy is not in control. Basically, I think that's what he was saying. And I think there's some truth to that anytime that you have not been made to be, anytime you've been in control of everything and something hits you, you don't have the calluses to take it. So you tend to complain about that, right? So you got to, so for instance, I'll notice a lot of these movies when it comes to race, right? A lot of them, and I know a lot of it's to make money. You don't want to offend the majority of the population because it's probably not going to be successful in the theater. But like we were talking, this thing came up today about the Blind Side movie about a football player, played 8 years in the NFL, but this white family took him in, showed him how to play football. So the white hero syndrome, right? Anytime it's a black-white thing, like different strokes, and it's always the rich white guy helping the black, and it's almost like, see, there's some good white people out there. Look, we're good. Mm-hmm. We're good. We're good. We're helping out the disadvantaged, and so anytime it's something that's not that, then it stings because you're just not used to seeing. You're not used to seeing, the white guy is not used to seeing himself be slapped down or disrespected, where everybody else has pretty much been disrespected and they've calloused over it. Okay, now get to what I felt about the show. Yeah, I went to sleep as soon as they started talking about Barbie. I said, this is ridiculous. I mean, why are these guys talking about a movie and acting like it's really important? Until you started getting into it. It was between you and the cute Mexican girl next to me with her accent that woke me up.
In the green room.
Okay. Like, whoa, who's this? She was cute, but
yeah, I'm glad you cleared that up.
Yeah.
Hold on 1 second, because Ish, the way Star feels about bad audio on his show, it drives him crazy. The frames and lighting drive me crazy. Fix your frame, filmmaker. Fix your frame. So fucking aggravates my soul.
So until you started going in, it was boring.
Okay.
And it was really boring. And we thought we were going to leave an hour early, and then we saw you
I was going to call it at 2. I was going to call it at 2 hours because I know that Access Vegas is long-winded, and there were way too many people in there. There was like 10 women in there. We were packed in, plus the dog. I understand they have to overbook, but I think that if it's too many people, it's too many fucking people. Send some people home. That's what I would have did. You overbook. I personally wouldn't have stuffed 13 people in there and a dog. I wouldn't have done it, but it's not my show.
But once you started doing that, and I figured and I saw that it was, you like seeing that. You like seeing not everybody just talking the same points and agreeing. You like seeing a discourse. Then it got interesting, and I even said, Lily, we ain't going nowhere. Like, we here for another hour. Like,
I think she's having fun now. Yeah, I think she's having fun.
Yeah. So.
Well, that was a lot of the reaction. That was a lot of the reaction of the show. People were DMing me and telling me it was the best show ever. And the Adam Sosnick dude was racist with some of the things he said to me. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I don't look up to these guys. Again, I told you guys before, I didn't grow up in a home where white people were gods. So I'm like, whatever you say to me, I'm going to call you a peon, an asshole, you're a bitch. And I'm going to reciprocate. So it didn't affect me like, oh my God, he's being racist. I'm like, let's go. Let's do this. However, when I reciprocated, everybody was in a panic, and I was like, oh, I thought we were, no, this is not, no, okay, all right, I was gonna call it at 2 hours because it's a little long-winded.
Well, this is a problem that I have with a number of these dudes, when they like to say, well, men built America and men did it. Look, listen, you white boys currently, your grandfather and your great-grandfathers built America. You didn't do shit.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
My great-grandfather and my grandfather built America with them, and I'm still building with my brothers. You benefit from privilege. Mm-hmm. You benefit from a great deal of fucking privilege. And the fear that you guys have is that you might have to one day work in the trenches with everyone else. And you are not built for that.
Mm-hmm.
You would be the first of your generation to have to be out here building and finding and scratching and scraping with blacks, gays, Asians, women, such and such, so on and so forth. So you're using your last shred of power to ensure that you maintain the space that your grandfather created for you. You ain't nothing but a whiny rich kid. Mm-hmm. That's all you fucking are. That's why I don't respect most of you, because anytime any one of you get a little bit of fucking pressure put on you, you fucking snap.
Yeah.
So devil's advocate, when you say like these new white guys, you know, they didn't build shit. They're you know, taking very much advantage of their privilege and what have you, and still crying and bitching and moaning. And that's what I was saying on Access Vegas.
Winners. They're so winners.
I was saying that on Access Vegas. I'm like, I don't get the crying, bitching, the emotional. And they were like, we're not emotional. I'm like, yeah, just dedicated the second show to Barbie. The first time I was on Access Vegas, it was about Barbie. Then 2 weeks later, it was about Barbie. So I said, you guys are harping on this, and it was a fact. If I'm on the first show and it's about Barbie, and I'm on the second show and it's about Barbie, then I'm not lying, correct? So, but devil's advocate, Haran, you know, can we say the same thing to Black people who complain about, oh, slavery? Well, you weren't a fucking slave. You were nowhere near slavery. You were never shackled, sir, ma'am. What do you think about someone throwing that back at you?
Well, to some degree, yes, it is true. However, there's still a degree of work we still have to put in. Mm-hmm. We don't have the same degree of privilege they have. We never will. So it's like, all right, I'll never be hung up by a fucking tree. You know what I mean? I'll never have to witness that with my eyes. You know what I mean? I acknowledge that greatly, but I don't sit here and say to myself and behave like, like shit still can't get real for somebody who looks like me. You know what I mean? There's still a difference. It just might not be as bad as it was, you know what I mean, from the 90s all the way back.
Second question, do you need, when you say I'll never have the privilege like a white man would have, do you feel like you need that amount of privilege in order to succeed in this country? Okay.
Absolutely not, because I was able to make shit shake without it.
Okay.
So that makes me say like, hey, I'm a bad motherfucker without that privilege. You need it though. You obviously need that shit.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting point, and we agree on a lot of this, because I've said this all along. Like when people say, in all walks of life, do it, all races, if you want to use race, even though it's a bunch of bullshit, they all say, oh, look what we did. And I'm thinking to myself, no, you didn't do that. I'm like, even if everything you say is true, you didn't have anything to do with that. Just like, you know, look, we put a satellite. I couldn't tell you how to put a satellite in the air. You know, we're living on the backs of brilliant people of all races. We're living on the backs of their inventions and trying to claim it because someone looks like us or someone has the same skin color as us. No, you got to stand on your own. And I'll never be an Einstein. I realize that. Einstein came up with the theory of relativity. That's not, even if people want to say Jewish, they use that as a separate race, which he was German, right? I mean, basically Austrian German. Okay, I have German blood in me, but I have nothing to do with what Einstein did. You know what I mean? It's silly. Right. So, but what Haran is saying is so true. Like my grandfather, and they came out of the Great Depression. They had some privileges, but they had a sense of hard work because of what they came out of in the Great Depression. My grandfather, worked on a farm, blah, 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 blah. But I'm not the same as him, but I live off of things that they built. So, and I find it, what Haran said is so true. It's like, I saw this front and center when I saw people riding around in yachts in a Trump yacht parade. I'm like, what the fuck are you complaining about? You have a yacht, sir. You have a yacht and you're worried about losing what? You're better off than most of the people in this country and you're whining. And it drives me crazy. But from what Haran said, they're scared they're losing that edge. I guess. I don't think that way, but that's the only thing I can see, because you're riding around a yacht worried about somebody taking something from you.
So, and this is why I said, and a great point, and this is why I say we are not far enough removed from slavery. This is why I still think the way I do about certain people and certain things. We are not now hit me back in 500 years when I come back as a butterfly. But as it stands right now, we are
I'm gonna
not.
hit it.
You gonna kill a butterfly?
No, I'm gonna procreate with that butterfly.
Shit.
Is that the only way?
Listen, that butterfly turned into an eagle right quick, buddy. Shit. With that said, this is going to be a great, what I'm about to say, the last thing I'm about to say about Access Vegas, because I'm not going to do a fucking 2-hour stream on that shit. It was fun for me. Apparently, I did too much after the white guy came at me. I don't know, whatever. Again, I didn't know him prior to that, although he claimed he has 4 million followers. Turns out they're not his 4 million followers. They actually belong to Valuetainment, and every now and then he's a sidekick on the show. But, let's give him his 4 million subs because, like an episode of Black Mirror, it's important that you have a lot of subscribers. He lied about my page. He was like, you have 400 subscribers. I said, no, bitch, I got 4,000. You can't read. So we went back and forth, and that's when I knew it's going to be a free for all. He's well oiled. He's drunk. I thought I have fun. I didn't take anything he said seriously. I'm sure he didn't take anything I said seriously, and life goes on to the next stream, right? But this is going to be a great segue because I'm going to take something that I saw on Access Vegas, and we can get into the main topic. And just to remind you guys, I see no super chats. My super chats are fucking dry. And I know a lot of y'all be on other channels dropping 20s and 50s and 100s and other people's shit, okay? I see nothing, and I'm feeling away. There's still a bitness, and we're bringing you great content. So I'm going to segue into the topic for tonight, which is shaming women into submission. Shaming women into submission. And this is a great segue because even on Access Vegas or the Fresh and Fits or what have you, and all over social media and all the dating coaches and all over YouTube, I noticed there's this reoccurring theme where they're constantly shaming women, be it body count, be it, you're not supposed to be doing that because you're a mother. You're not supposed to be doing that because you're a wife. You're not married. Even the Adam dude was telling me, oh, you can't keep a man, not knowing me from a can of paint, literally not knowing me from a can of paint, my history, my desires, or what I want. Yeah, I'm going to go home I got millions of dollars, and you're going to go home because you can't keep a man. And it's just regurgitation and parroting of shaming women for what it is women want to do. And I find that very, very curious. So it's a great segue. Now, going back to Access Vegas, I noticed again in my observant mind, there was women there, some of them sex workers, some of them admitted to they only fuck men for money, some of them bottle girls. I think one of them only had a regular job, but she had been a bottle girl as well. So there's a certain dynamic of women that are there, and they were very much in their place, right? And they let these dudes say whatever, and every now and then they speak up. And then, of course, I brought out the fucking bazooka and put it on my shoulder. But they'll push back just a little bit, and then the guys will start shaming them, and then they get quiet and sit there like good little girls. And I'm sitting there observing this, and I'm like, you fuck for money. You're a porn actress. And I'm just like, I can't believe how mousy these women get in these rooms. I'm like, look, you sell pussy for a living. I would think you'd have a little more, say it with your chest in you. But it goes to show the power dynamic when you have men in the room constantly shaming women, and women start out like this with their implants out to here, and then they start getting smaller and smaller. And there was a stripper there, and she was like, I want to get married one day. And they proceeded to shame her and say, no one's going to want you because everybody has seen your body, right? And this is what they do. They're constantly shaming women. And I wanted to do this topic because Haran said something that was very, very interesting. And I said, that's a fucking show. Haran said,
what was that?
Men are constantly shaming women about their options, right? And you go to these shows or you watch these shows, and they're throwing stats at you. And they're throwing stats at you. Oh my God, these shows love a good statistic, don't they? 92.6 of women can't pair bond. I heard 72.5% of women die if they can't cook. I heard 84.6% of women, if they don't suck the man's dick on tap, their arms fall off. Well, it says here, this statistic, give me what type of man you want. Everybody in the room. And then the women proceed to entertain these dudes. I want a man that's 6 feet tall. I want a man that makes $75,000. And then they'll put out their statistic, their big scroll. Well, it says here, bitch, it's impossible for you to get this man because statistically, these men are never going to want you. And this is parroted on a lot of these shows. Women are constantly being shamed. Weird. But like I say, there's life on the internet, Lily, and then there's real life. And in real life, anything that presents as feminine, it doesn't even have to be biologically feminine, can get dick and dick and more dick and more dick and more dick. That is the reality. And that's why I say you can shove those stats up your ass, because there's the stats that you men parrot, and then there's real fucking life. And in real life, anything that even appears to be feminine and have a little arch in their walk or can walk in a pair of heels is going to get dick over and over and over again. But if you notice on these shows, going back to what Haran said, they're constantly shaming women and diminishing them so women can be like, oh, I need to fit in his frame so he can walk. I want to fit in your frame. Oh, women shouldn't vote. I think so too. I think women shouldn't vote, right?
Is that what you think?
Yeah, is that what you think? Or is that what your man thinks?
Is that what we think? That's what I think. That's what we think.
Yes.
I'm supposed to say me? Okay, that's what I think.
And we see that happening over and over again. And I saw that in my observations, because I'm a forever student. And when you invite me anywhere, I'm a sponge because I like learning. And I'm a marketing aficionado. I love to see how people market things and say things. I'm a people sponge. So that's what I was noticing, where these women came in and they were all confident, whatever. And don't get me wrong. Listen, maybe there was one or two girls in there really holding their own. But this Adam character, like, even when a woman tried to speak, he was like, he was giving them the hand, which I thought was feminine behavior.
Real sister girl like.
Every time a woman would try to speak, he was doing that. Like he did it he attempted to do it to me. He did it to this other woman. He told her shush. Yeah, he was like shush, right? He was shushing the women, and the women weren't allowed to speak. And I'm like, how do you go from selling pussy to like you're letting a man shush you? You're supposed to be bold as fuck, sis. You're already at the end of you're already at the end of the end. You're selling ass. I would think you would not take that shit from a man. But whatever. I digress on the ladies. Some of the ladies very, very much did stand up for themselves, but it wasn't a lot. Terez, let me address this. And I address this often because this is another shaming tactic that men use. Dick, not relationships. Newsflash, 80% of women file for divorce first, since you like stats, right? Which means women don't give a fuck about committing to men. And most of us just want dick. I know it's very, very hard for you to accept. And you believe the pair bonding that you guys talk about. You believe that women want a ring. But the majority of women are saying, fuck off with your relationships. Hence, 80% of women file for fucking divorce to get the fuck away from you. And I know the retort, that's because women get rewarded for divorce. Either ways, they think the reward is better than fucking wiping your ass and cleaning your dirty underwear. So that's not even a good retort, okay? It doesn't even matter. You really, and I'll pass the mic on this. You really have to let go of women. All women are chasing relationships. We don't give a fuck anymore. And you guys are having a real hard time coping with that. So
that answers Tristan's question. That answers, he says, I have a serious question. What did women literally do to deserve all of this nonsense? It like came out of nowhere. You just answered the question. Women changed their minds. Women changed their minds because women started to outpace men, and they looked around and said, I don't want this bullshit. If I don't have to take this bullshit, I can pay my own bills. Oh wow, and they lost perceived control, because you don't have control over a human, but they lost control, and that's what happened. And then that's when we started to see this uprising of women hate, and it was like when women started saying, I don't want your ring, I don't want your relationship, I do want your dick, right? But I wanted to go home after you bust, like don't stay here, right? That's when it started.
And you even see, listen, I got a couple friends, and I'm sure you guys have a couple friends. You even see women that divorce men will fuck that same man after the divorce. Because now they're just fucking you on your terms, and guess what? On their terms, and guess what? They don't have the responsibility of being your wife. Do you notice that? A lot of women, and we read this statistic before, we did a stream on it. How many people go back to their ex for sex? Okay, women will divorce a man and go get that dick, but you know what? It's better because now you're not in her fucking house, and she doesn't have to cook for you all the time. I just say observe. I know these red pill manifest. Oh, this statistic, just dick, not relationships. Do you see how women are moving now? You guys are coping badly. That's why you get more and more vitriolic as time goes on, and you're not going to change it. Like Lily said, women have changed their minds, and men are not coping well. They're not.
I mean, I'd like to say that this is
no. Let me just say one thing real quick. In terms of the black men who continue to support the manosphere and these red pill spaces, I want you to take something into account. The new hot topic that seems to be gaining steam is that white women shouldn't be allowed to vote. Now, let's just say in some world where their ability to vote will be taken away from them. I want you to look at this real hard. Now, pause. Now, they received their ability to vote in 1920. Black people weren't able to vote until 1965. Okay? Now, if they're willing to take away the vote from the white women, his mother, his sister, his daughter, if he's willing to go out his way to do that and say that happens, what do you think they'll do to you? Do you really think that you're in the same position as white men? Do you really think when they think about men, they think about black men, Asian men, all men? No, they're thinking about themselves. This is about power. This is about control. And sometimes you have to understand when you're in a particular position, especially in the hierarchy of your social area, sometimes your interests collide with other people that don't look like you, but you have to make sure that a certain group doesn't have complete autonomous fucking power. Get out of your fucking feelings and start thinking.
But I think that black men on social media, and not all, some, but a lot of black men on social media proved already with someone like Pearly Things, and you know what I mean, the Andrew Tates, and you know, all these white with the Rollo Tomasis or whatever. I think a lot of black men proved on social media they don't mind bending over for the white fist up their ass. I think we've seen that. They're the ones that catapult, white people to fame, and then white people tell them to go fuck off, and then they continue on with their money. We saw it, and I want to talk about this tomorrow, not today. We see it with the beef between Melly Mel, one of hip hop pioneers, okay, and fucking Eminem. Like everybody's taking Eminem's side, right? And we see, and black people are taking Eminem's side, right? And this is why I don't feel sorry for them when they get rant over by white people, because you worship white people. You are in essence tied to the cracker. That's why I don't feel anything when you got the tears, the black tears going about white people, because collectively you don't mind bending over for the white fist up your ass, right? And we've seen that. So I hear what you're saying, Haran, but listen, they're still, the white worship is still going on. No, Saint, I know you want to say something.
Yeah, well, first of all, since I like clearing things up, so 1870, the 15th Amendment gave African-American men the right to vote. However, 1965, the ratification of things like literacy tests and things in the South that were keeping black people from voting were then outlawed. So I just want to make it clear. Mm-hmm. I know Haran knows this, but for the audience, in case I don't want to blow.
Absolutely. No. That was important for you to state that.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say is this is kind of interesting because we're talking about white people that are up there complaining about losing power. And I want to link it to men in general complaining now that we're losing power. It's kind of the same thing. They're getting upset because they're losing the advantages they had over women, and now they're trying to sell it, repackage it and sell it. Well, you're only going to get dick. What about a relationship? Who's going to wipe your ass? They're trying to resell what they've lost. And it is uncomfortable because now you have to bring more than just the power of having a job and women not being able to, be the 1950s woman of cooking, cleaning, and staying at home. The different jobs. I remember, and you kind of hear, I remember feeling weird when I used to hear a guy called a nurse, because that was mainly reserved for females.
Mhm.
The same as like
Flight attendant.
doctors, doctors
Right.
were always males.
Mhm.
And it's just not that way anymore. So now, and women do well in education. They do really well in college
Mhm.
for whatever reason. And so now they are passing up men in a lot of careers. So now men no longer have that advantage to hold over women,
Mhm.
and women no longer have to depend on that. So together, I think it's benefits children. It's easier to raise children resource-wise if you're not independently wealthy. I think there is something to that, but men really do have to bring more to the table than just their wallet, and most of us are set in our ways, and be honest, we're not willing to. Most of us aren't willing to really change, or willing to,
Really quick. Thank you for the super chat. Black Lexicon says good words to marinate on. Follow suit. Let me see some super chats, y'all. I wanted to read this comment real quick. Therese says, I'm not down with red pill at all, but 90% of people fall in the camp of wanting relationships. Again, these made up stats. You cannot do this, people. I know it sounds good, and 90% is usually the go-to for everybody trying to prove a point. Those stats are not correct. Anyway, let's just use them for fantasy's sake. He says 90% of people fall in the camp of wanting relationships, both men and women. It's inherent to the human condition. Wanting to be single is an aberration. Absolutely not. Here's the thing. People want relationships, but women have changed how they want relationships. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Women, yes. I said on that show, women now want men. They don't need them. That is a fact. And the only way a woman will need a man is if she's financially dependent upon him. Then she needs him. But the majority of women in this environment, we're all pretty much working. We all can afford to live on our own. We all can afford to buy our groceries. So we want men. We don't need them, right? And going back to the topic, I don't want to stray too far away. Are women shamed into submission? When I was on that show, some of the pick-me's started talking, right? Because when you're on these shows, there are a couple pick-me's that it's like, no, look, I'm the nice one. I need a man. So when I said women don't need men, they want them, which is a wonderful thing. I love men. You know what I mean? They want them. She quickly, you know what I mean? I need a man, and I'm not ashamed of saying that, right? She was dragged for filth, okay? And she was moderately attractive, I would think, when she's made up with the hair and the big titties out there. She was what someone would call attractive. I don't think she'd get kicked out of bed, but it proves my point that she was dragged anywhere. You're dealing with men that don't like women, not a certain type of woman. They don't like women in general. They didn't like me when I said women want a man, they don't need him. And they didn't like her when she said, I need a man. These men in these spaces, in these chats, don't like women. And if you're attractive, you are very reminiscent of women they could never have. So that's even worse. So it doesn't matter if you're acting submissive and I need a man, like she was saying, or I'm saying you don't need a man, you can want a man. These men just don't like women, period.
Right.
I think the elephant in the room is this. When we say men and we talk about this, let's just call it what it is. We're talking about average men. Okay? No man worth $30 million. No man worth $30 million is having this fucking problem. Mm-hmm. No man that looks like Jason Momoa or Andrew Tate is having this kind of fucking problem. You know what I mean? Shit. No Pookie and Ray Ray motherfucker who's slanging the rod, you know what I mean, and incessantly is having this kind of fucking problem. It's the average guy who might not check any of these boxes, whose only weapon is a woman being financially dependent a woman whose rights have been taken away from her, a woman who's who can only be shamed into, you know what I mean, keeping her legs closed and so on and so forth. So without the presence of monogamy, without all of that, because like I told you, Jen, there was life before monogamy. Women went after the motherfucker that they wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was usually the motherfucker that every other woman wanted, because he came back to the village with 2 fucking bisons on his shoulder. He was broad-shouldered. He was whatever, and so on and so forth. And they looked at him and said, "Yeah, I want to be with this." And certain laws were put into place, so on and so forth. That was beneficial and pragmatic for the species. And it is to say this, that it was the democratization of sex, which led to marriage, the democratization of marriage for common people, and so on and so forth. And here we are right now. But the internet, the social media, it created the space that so many of the average men were fighting for decades, and that is the ability for women to have options. Women can fuck with a motherfucking Tel Aviv. Women can fuck with a motherfucking Florida now. Women can go out to fucking Vegas. Women can go out to California. All these places within the span of a month. So you went from fighting with 4 dudes for to be crass. You went into fighting against 4 dudes for some pussy from 4 to 4,000. And the only option you have as a man is to make sure that you are the best option that you can possibly be yourself. That is your only power. That's it. That's it, and that's all.
Yeah, because the dating pool used to just be, like you said, they would just compete with the dudes around the way. Absolutely. But now they competing with the world now because of the internet. So it makes it, and that is real, because a woman with 1 foot, right, and a half an eye can get a date, okay, and get some dick.
And ladies, I'm looking at this from a human perspective. All this DM hopping and so on and so forth. You guys have to be desensitized by this shit after a while.
Yeah, you become desensitized to it.
Hundreds and hundreds of DMs you probably never read before.
That's not even read. There's a lot of them that have never been read, and
it's not even worth even thinking about.
No, it's something you don't even talk about. You don't even talk about. You don't think about it. It's just background noise. It's white noise at this point.
And you know, for the guys out there that think that you have it bad or don't like living where you're living in America, take that away and see how you do overseas with these passport bros. That passport made you maybe a 4 to an 8 when you go overseas, because I see some of these guys on 90 Day Fiance and they're like awkward, weird, and yet they have a nice looking woman that's saying, "I want the hell out of this place. I'll be with this guy for a little while anyway." But another thing is, listen, men need women now, and we always have needed women more than they need us, basically. I think men, we are very dependent, and we with a woman on our side, the eye candy makes our self-esteem pick up. It's more, I think we really need women more than they need us at this point. And so that's where some of the anger comes out too, because now you no longer, it's a lot harder. The competition is up. You're not
so what
doing
you're saying
well.
is
women will leave you because they can now, where before, again, going back to the resources, we had means of okay, well, they might not like me, but they're not going anywhere, and I still have this person on my side, and most of the time they treat us nice, you know. So yeah, I think there's a lot of that too. We definitely are codependent. We are very dependent on having relationships with women. It says something about yourself.
But you know, I'm gonna say something though.
I think maybe
a lot of these complaints I'm hearing are very interesting to me, right? Like, dead ass answer. I'm like, sir, are you listening to yourself? Because what I'm hearing is decades and decades of a woman's complaint.
And oh my God, Lily, you took my thought. I was about to say, this is the feminism, this new feminism.
It is the weirdest thing. And all I can think about when I hear their complaints is, Ain't no fun when a rabbit got the gun, is it?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of women, see, what they fail to realize is that a lot of women have become predators. Listen, I mean, we haven't really discussed that. A lot of women, a lot of predators have been created.
Yep.
Especially women over 40. They've learned the game, right? They done been gamed a few times. They learned that motherfucker and they turn it around, right?
That's why men are complaining. They sound like women, which is what I said on Access Vegas. I said, you guys sound like women in salons with rollers in your hair sitting next to me. You complain about women the way women used to complain about men incessantly. Like, this is the new feminist movement. This is what it sounds like to me. And that's why I brought up my father. I said, my father would walk in the room. If he saw women or us, my sister, whatever, he would not get in the face. Hey, imagine 1970, 1980, even 1990, your dad walking in and saying, hey, did you see that new Barbie movie? They're really making us look bad. That's what I was asking in that group. And they were all looking at each other. Seriously, why are you so emotional upset? No one's emotional upset. This is the second time I'm here at this show and it's about Barbie. This is ridiculous. I guess I was supposed to sit there and be quiet and be cute. Like it's weird to me, but going back to what you said, Lily, it is the new feminist movement. It's very feminine in nature. And that is what I said. That is what it looks like to me. You're not going to change my mind. It looks like when women complain about men.
It sounds like it too, because these are exact same complaints. Like the stuff that I hear them saying, I'm just like, huh? What?
I work so hard. I just want to come home to a hot meal and head on tab. And it's so hard being a man. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
I just happened to see something today. I don't know. It's one of these shows, maybe Marriage. I can't remember what Marriage. Anyway, it was a woman, and basically, she was nice looking woman, and the guy was kind of okay, and she talked him into for her to have I forgot what you call it when a woman has polyamorous or whatever, where the women can have more than one relationship, and he kind of just was like, and we decided, and I'm thinking, huh?
That's polyamorous.
Yeah. We decided that we kept on saying we. I'm thinking to myself, no, she decided, and you just are hanging on for dear life because you don't want to lose her, and you know that she's got the options, and really, if it's not her, then I got to go out there into the wild again, and I'm not getting any better than this. So men don't like. I mean, listen,
look,
I
man,
get it. You don't like it, but
look, man, it's the game. Look, I'll be honest with you, it's the game. There are gender politics when it comes to relationships, and the person with the least amount of options is the one that is dependent on the relationship more so. Whether it be the man or the woman, period. Okay, so if your entire identity as a man is wrapped up into the idea of being with a woman and being chose by a fucking woman, then yeah, you're going to be a slave to these red pill ideas and these shit like this because you're constantly looking for a woman to define you and so on. I do want to say one thing. The trip, it showed me that I still have some work to do in terms of connecting with people, you know what I mean? Because I'm still in this is since I was a kid. I still have that thing where I just deal with people when I fucking feel like it. And there's in many ways Jen has kind of, I don't know if she knows this, but indirectly because Jen is she's very family oriented. She's very family oriented, and she understands the necessity behind it. You know what I mean?
Am I fit, feminine, and friendly?
Very family oriented. Me, I'm kind of like, okay, that's enough. You know what I mean? But as I get older and I understand that true leadership isn't about pushing people away. I mean, true leadership in many ways is about you have to, you know what I mean, be able to connect with people and so on. So I'm still working on that.
Yeah, that's why I kept yelling his name to come out the fucking room. Bob Dole says most dudes are dating for the wrong reasons. They chase a lot of women to get validation from other men. And if you notice, again, these shows that are online, when they have 10 women in the room and the women got tits up to here and they, they're dressed to the nines and they got makeup and all the hair and stuff. they have those women on these shows for a reason. Well, two reasons: to berate them for their crowd, for their audience, right? And because men are supposed to be around women that look good. Right. So it's kind of like a contradiction when you watch these shows, because they want fit, feminine, and friendly, and they want them to fit in their frame and be, submissive. But, why aren't you talking again to business women that are wearing turtlenecks and walking in with the Calvin Klein suit, the jacket and everything? No, you got a bunch of what you deem hoes.
What they deem.
Right. What they deem hoes all across, and a lot of these guys, they're either single or they're with a girl, like I told that Adam dude, that would better deal you. I told him if Andrew Tate walked in, your bitch would better deal you. And he was like, I'm friends with Tate. I said, you're not listening to what I said. If she had the opportunity, she would better deal you for Tate.
Exactly.
That's how women are. That's how women are.
If you think any of those women that same night, if they had the opportunity to be on Fresh and Fit, you think they wouldn't have ghosted you? You said yourself that they flake you. You said you overbooked because they flake. Yeah, I wonder why they flake.
Bigger and better things to do that night.
I didn't flake because we needed content, bitch. And we got it.
Right.
We got it. And salute to them for inviting me twice. I wasn't mad at that. Moxie, thank you for this. She says they are also loving those hoes. Bring some beautiful, intelligent women. Exactly. Again, they are at odds with themselves.
Yes.
They hate what they love, Moxie. P.S. Adam Sosnick comes over like an undercover brother to me, just saying, well, I don't know how many straight men give you the hand. Shish. But I digress.
Yeah, because she was, and I'm saying she as an Adam, she was upset.
Lily.
I got to change pronouns. I address the energy in which that addresses me. And so in that instance, I was looking at her like she's really going in on the gay, like the gay agenda. And no tea, no shade. I thought she was a part of the gay agenda at first.
I can see that. I can see that in the mannerisms for sure.
Yeah, I really did. I thought she was a part of the agenda until she started talking. And I was like, oh, we're going to play that game. Mm-hmm. Where we pretend like, oh, okay, cool. Right. Somebody should have just told me first, because I could have slipped up and be like, girl, you know how it is, girl. And somebody should tell me these things first, because I've done that before.
Lily doth protest too much.
Just saying.
Doth protest too much. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot of content coming from when we lived together for a week and a half. We are doing it again. We're going to expand and ask people to come out, but we ain't asking you twice, okay? And you got to come out your pocket, because it's a group venture. And we may or may not let people into it. Say again?
Summer or springtime. You want to do it, Dixie?
Spring.
Let's do it spring.
What's it? Spring.
Okay. I can't stay away from y'all that long, and then you asking me to stay away from y'all for a whole year.
So. Oh, my bad, Lily. You talk about not staying away from us. I'm like, we got to work. We left some work on the table. Am I right? No Saint want to work. No Saint wants to work.
And contrary to popular belief, Jen will have a chai tea date with you, a vanilla chai tea.
I will. Let them know, no Saint.
She gracefully accepted vanilla chai tea from Starbucks.
We're dressed today, E Black. But don't get excited, because we can come out our clothes at any given time. So.
Don't play with me, E Black. Don't play with me. Don't, because I'll come out this bitch. Okay?
And for the record, I'm only half dressed, but.
Me too. We in our drawers right now.
I'm always in my damn drawer.
E Black said, glad to see y'all back home safe and dressed. E Black is referring to Lily and I did 2 streams where we cooked live and did our show live, and No Saint graced us in a thong.
I think that's what he's talking about.
That is what he's talking about. That is what he's talking about.
E-Black. I don't think E-Black means you two.
He's definitely talking about you, No Saint.
Oh, Lord.
That takes some courage, and then Moxie starts, talking about my flat cakes and
the cakes were hella flat though, No Saint. We love you anywhere.
That's from years
and the balls balling. The balls.
Oh my God, the ball bounce got me. The ball bounce guy. I mean, No Saint sit in a chair and he got to hold on to the armrest so he don't slip out the chair. No cakes.
And it wasn't that far for Jen's head. That shit was.
Oh my God.
That's the closest she's ever come.
And ever will. and ever will, No Saint. Salute to you, sir. At least you know that much.
Hey, Shelly.
E Black said, I'm not thinking about you, sir. Yo, E Black, next time you got to plan your trip better so we can link in Vegas. Y'all planned it right before we got out there.
E Black called the Men in Black once he saw that stream.
What the? You have not seen this? Blink.
Like a moxie.
Oh my God. Yeah, but No Saint, he's a team player, and we did it in our underwear. Lily and I cooked twice. We did live streams in our underwear and we cooked for y'all. So we was doing the fit, feminine, not so friendly, right? Because who the fuck needs to be friendly on tap? But we cooked 2 meals for the gentlemen. I wanted to leave you with this note. You take care of your people, they will take care of you. That is how we just innately handled this whole trip. Nobody was looking for anybody to do anything extra. We just volunteered to do everything. You need money for this? Let's get this. I bought the food. Lily bought the food. We all, got a card. Like, we all really showed up, right? And those are the people that you want on your team. It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure. And again, we will post more content, but our cooking and underwear content is already up on my channel. You guys can see it. Really funny nights, both of them. I cooked one night, Lily cooked another night, and then we plated the food and fed these men and fed ourselves. And it was absolute honor and pleasure to eat together and break bread together. So it was take care of your people, they take care of you. It proved that you just come in with good intentions, not with ulterior motives, and things just work out.
And tell your mother I said hi, Tristan.
Instead of No Saint, we should change No Saint's name to No Cheeks. Oh my goodness. Dawood says the Vegas photos look great. Meals cooked with love, the best.
Yeah.
Dawood, didn't you pay to talk to me and Lily? Didn't Dawood pay? Didn't he finish his layaway plan?
He didn't finish his layaway plan. No, not yet.
He didn't finish his layaway plan?
Not yet. Are you planning on finishing that before the year's out, Dawood? Yeah,
because we'll talk to you. We're talking about like you can throw some chips at us and we will talk to you on a private Zoom call. And I thought Dawood pay. Okay, I got to check. Yeah, I got to check. Yes, we were cooking in our lingerie, and when we get together again, we will do that again. That was a lot of fun. And Aaron got his steak. He got his damn steak.
Yes, he got his steak.
It was amazing, by the way.
Yeah, the food was delish. We could cook. See, and Lily, they always talk about don't trust a skinny cook. You'll starve in my house, bitch, because I cook.
I'm about to say,
like it's down.
We know how to cook. We can cook.
Yeah, it was yummy. It was very yummy, made with love, and
yep.
we weren't even in our own home.
Y'all can't get rid of some dudes.
Pause.
I tasted some of that shit, and the way y'all looked in your lingerie, I was like, oh, this is why y'all motherfuckers can't get rid of some of these. As a man, I understand. This
is why I laugh at these clowns who like, you can't keep a man. I could keep a man, but what makes you think I want to keep? But you have to. We're not all the same. Women are not a monolith.
Some of you won't even leave your 300-pound baby mama. So just stop it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, okay, just just stop about what somebody ain't gonna do and not gonna do. Okay, you'd have been fucking up that steak, and you'd have been fucking up that goddamn pork, and talking about, hey, you need your feet rubbed, y'all good, all that shit. You'd have been all that.
Yeah. Daryl Allen says, as a collective, we need to understand that life is short. Get with the woman, man, who is down for you. When we get old, we will wish we did. I bet it's people not thinking about it. Yeah, and then there's some people who grow old alone and they're content, right? There are all kinds of people on this planet. There really, really are. My grandma, died without a husband, and the hospital room was full, and we were taking care of her. And she went along peacefully, you know what I mean? And she loved us to death. So they're different people. Like, don't use the fear and fear mongering to try to get in a relationship. And if you're afraid to be alone, that's a you thing.
Yeah.
You have to look into yourself and think, why am I afraid to be alone? Some people can't have their own, they don't like their own company, or they're afraid of their own company. That's why they monkey bar into relationships, right?
Not just that, but who says you're going to be alone if you're not with somebody and or companion? Like, I mean, there's plenty of friends that'll show up for you.
I've never felt alone. I don't even know what that feels like.
People have better friends than companions.
Oh man, say that again. Say that shit again.
I would say that the majority of people have better friends than they do companions.
Damn, that's a deep one.
It's super deep, because if you notice, we all have friends 10, 20, 30 years amongst us, and we've gone through relationships. And
how many relationships have they gone through with you?
Right. And when we call our friends be pulling up. Okay, our friends pull up, like, what you need. Even if they come kicking and screaming, they're there. So, there's a lot of emphasis put on coupling for life, but people will, like I said, my grandmother had a full room, at the end. So if you don't even have friends, like, the problem is you, not somebody not wiping your ass when you're 90. If you don't even have friends to show up for you, that says a lot. It says a lot. That's a deep one. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be here all week.
All week. Thank goodness. All right, guys. We left a lot of celebrity shit on the table tonight, but the conversation got so good. Tomorrow I want to get into some of the stuff we left on the table and another hot topic. Please, please, please follow all of us, for Christ's sake. Okay, it is important. And we're going to be doing the after shows. If you're catching the replay, hit my Cash App On the Block with Jen if you appreciate the content. We're going to start doing after shows. I don't know how soon you guys want to start the after shows. Let me know. And we will do that, because I am, again, going to cut down On the Block with Jen to 1 hour. Okay, because we got a lot of other shit going on. And then maybe we'll take it for a half an hour to the after show. All right. But we have to spread the love, and we have to show up for all of us here. Again, follow us on social media, because we're all dropping different points of view and videos from our Vegas trip. I'm not dropping it all. And let me tell you, I am lagging behind with content. So if you guys want to see immediately what happened in Vegas, you have to follow Lily, and you have to follow No Saint, because I'm not going to get to posting it any fucking time soon. So if you want to see what happened behind the scenes, follow Lily and follow No Saint.
I think I just put something up before the stream here on YouTube, so y'all can go check that up. It's a short.
Yeah, check out their channels and their Instagram, because I'm lazy with it. It's a lot to sift through. So if you want to see the Vegas stuff, but I did put on my page the cooking streams. Check that out. Dawood Ali. Every time I get up here for the past couple years, I've said On the Block with Jen at Gmail, sir. That is how you get a hold of me. I've been saying it for a couple years now. On the Block with Jen at Gmail. Tristan, we could do half an hour, unless it's really popping, unless the conversation is really popping. The after shows will be 30 minutes. Unless it's really popping, the after shows will be 30 minutes. All right, No Saint. So who's going to do the first after show? Lily, Haran, or No Saint? You can do it tomorrow.
One of them two will be better off. I'm not at 50
Yeah.
yet.
I mean,
how many subs you got, Haran?
I'm like at 12.
All right, so then we gotta get your numbers up like we did for No Saint the other day. All right, we'll take care of that in the community tab. So either Lily or No Saint, we could start it tomorrow just to get the numbers up before spring comes. So we'll do an hour on the block, and then we'll do 30 minutes at the after show. So it's up to you guys who wants to go first mañana. But that's how we do it. There, we gotta spread the love.
Okay. Well, if I go, No Saint, you'll come over there.
Of course.
Oh, no, we're all going to whoever the after show is on.
Of course. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's how we're doing it. That is how we doing it. Everybody's showing up, and the whole chat got to show up too. So that's how we're gonna do it. An hour. Right. Hour on the block, and then everybody running over to the next page for 30 minutes. All right, guys. So that was it. Thank you so much for being here tonight and listening to all our info about Vegas. Again, follow everybody because I'm not dropping shit right. Ooh, I went to the gym today, bitch. I'm back in the gym. Okay. So
Yes, I
happy
had my
about that.
exercise today. I was really happy about that. I did 5 miles a day, so I'm really happy about that.
Yo, you better talk fast, E Black. Talking about drop the link while we on the way out the door. I swear, sir.
He always
Okay. He said drop the link to the next stream. We're not doing that. We're not doing that tonight. I already see.
It'll be tomorrow.
We will definitely do it tomorrow. We will drop the link to the stream tomorrow. Haran is already leaning. I know No Saint. I know No Saint is down to do 3 more hours.
Yes.
But Lily got to get her beauty
So I'm
sleep.
saying a half an hour. I'll go an hour after show.
I already know you would.
Yeah, so we'll do that tomorrow. Yeah, we will do that mañana. Mañana, E Black. Yeah, E Black missed out, man. You could have been eating steak and honey barbecue ribs. Like you missed out, bro. You left
Everybody
Vegas
forgets my red beans and rice. I just
I ain't forgot.
Sir, we forgot it. We've been talking about it for fucking days. Don't even try it.
I did a cooking stream on IG, but it's way too. It's not boring. It just takes too long.
Somebody saw it because somebody called me about it today.
Well, you should have did it in your thong, duh.
Haven't you learned to cook in your drawers if you want people to watch?
Right.
If you cook that shit in your drawers next time, just let me know when you're in the kitchen because I'm not walking past you.
Show my ham hocks.
Yeah,
my little sauce.
Your ham hocks. I'm not walking next to you with your fucking ham hocks out. Okay.
No, seriously, guys, please go into my gallery. I posted 2 videos of Lily and I cooking. Those streams are epic. They really, really are epic. Okay. We are in our undies. The guys are walking back and forth. My bad if you don't like to see No Saint in a thong. It happened. It happened. It shit happens.
Just a few times. Just a few
times, right?
You never know what's gonna go down. It's the block, man.
It's the block. Shit happens on the block. There's a real block. Yo, every time No Saint walked by, I was like, ah. Every time he came there, I was like, ah.
There's pink meat.
There's pink meat everywhere. There's pink meat everywhere. I'm blind. Lily, I can't see it. I can't see Lily.
The moment I came out the room and I saw him for the first time, I'm like,
Didn't you go back in the room?
Yeah, I went back in the fucking room. I was like, this is not
safe space.
It's not what I do, man.
No, we were a very safe space. We even did the skits and stuff. It was dope, man. It was fucking,
Yeah.
We got to do it again sooner than later. And hopefully my goal is to get you all to move out here. Quite a step.
You don't have to talk to me very long.
Lily, you'll be closer to Hollywood. You'll be closer to Hollywood. Haran, you'll cut your cost of living in half. No Saint already want to come out here.
Yeah.
Z got to be older. It's exponentially older. When she go to college, she won't get all about me anyway. So
what you mean college? Soon as she hit them teenage years,
she's going to forget about you. They get nicer around college or right after that.
Yeah, her teenage years.
That's when she'll remember me because she'll need money.
That's going to start in the teenage years. You're going to be a walking wallet.
Most likely, yeah. I see it happening already.
YouTube Press said they are epic for sure. Watched them twice. You watched our cooking shows twice? Yeah. All right, guys. So good night. We are the freak out of here. Please hit that like and subscribe on your way out. Meet us here tomorrow. We will be having the after show on No Saint's page. We're going to No Saint or Lily? No Saint or Lily?
Either one.
Okay, we'll decide. We'll decide tomorrow.
Tomorrow during the day, and we can put it up on in the community tab.
Yeah, absolutely. So tomorrow on the block with Jen, 1 hour, and then the after show on someone else's page. Just so FYI, because we're gonna spread this love. Okay. All right, guys, we are out of here. Good night. Muchos besos. Love you all. Necessary Evil said the men that want to destroy females so bad are probably running from their own inner work needed. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's a lot of therapy needed.
Oh, hey, Necessary Evil.
What's up, mama? And we're not gonna, they're not gonna find it on YouTube, unfortunately. But like, what do you say all the time, Haran?
How you do one thing is how you do everything.
And then good luck. What?
Oh. Good luck, nigga.
Like, nigga. Yo, I promise you, you have to end every stream you do like that. That has to be your outro. That has to be your outro. It's the funniest shit. Every outro has to be that.
I love it. You know, my favorite one is the cold world dress warm. That's my favorite.
Oh my God, I love that
Quran
one.
quote.
I love that one. All right, guys. Good night. Thank you, Daryl Allen.
Good night.
Thank you, Necessary Evil, for the super chat. Necessary Evil says, glad y'all made it back home safely for Smoothie. Thank you so much, Mama. And thank you to E Black, because he also said, great that we made it back home safely. All right, guys. See you mañana. Hit that like and subscribe on your way out the door. Thank you. Good night.